Abigail Arunga, 26 years old. Just published my first book of poetry. I write for a living and I write to pay my rent and I write because I must. Because there's not a lot of other things I'm good at outside of writing. I'm supposedly a journalist. I have a degree to prove it, but I don't practice. Well, I guess I kind of practice because I'm a columnist for The Nation. But I'm a writer at heart. So, yeah, is that little enough?
Yes. Okay. Okay, what
When I make my first million, I'll not be budding anymore. How was Amka? I've never been to Amka before. And it was interesting to me that this forum exists, especially because it's such a niche, like, female writers, each thing. And the fact that there are actually so many people who come for things like this, like they give up their time on a Saturday morning to come and talk about literature. It's a beautiful thing. It's amazing. And I feel like it speaks volumes about where our literature is growing and where the scene is going and how we're getting better at what people actually want to do. I think it definitely makes a difference to know that there are other people like you, that not everyone wants to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an astronaut, or whatever you want to be, that there's a space for people who want to be literary. Would I have published earlier? No. But it would have definitely made a difference to have a forum to talk about something that I love. The place of female voices, the place of any voice, the place of any literary voice is to tell whatever story that you choose to tell. In terms of female or male voice, of course there are more male writers, whether in newsrooms or on the literature scene or whatever. The place of a female voice is to be a voice. You don't necessarily have to be the female voice. You don't have to speak for the entire female population. Just say what you have to say and say it well. It's not about your gender. It's important for there to be more female voices, of course, speaking about things that affect females, of course. But just have the voice and own the voice and be the voice that you choose. What is my voice? I don't think I can say what my voice is. I think that's for readers to decide what my voice is. I mean, as you know, the book is mostly about, love, heartbreak, love for different things, love for Nairobi. The Nairobi one was actually written when I had been in Sharks for a very long time and there was a bus strike and I couldn't leave and I realized how much I missed Nairobi. But I think it's a voice of love. I was featured at the Story Mojahe Festival this year, and I was featured next to a poet, a very serious, very inspiring poet called Saro Ahmed Koshin, and she speaks as the voice of Somali women because she feels like Somali women do not have a voice, which is true. My story is not that deep. I speak about things that are close to my heart, and what is close to my heart is love. So if I was going to say that what my voice would be, I guess it would be that. And self-publishing was hard, but it wasn't as hard as it could have been. I'm sure it's harder for other people because I had my cousin, Abigail Arunga, who's just an absolute genius with graphic design and layout and finding near printing, everything. He basically did it. In fact, the book is dedicated to him. He's amazing. So it wasn't as hard for me as it would have been for other people, but it still is a hard thing to do. What was the second question?
Well,
my printer was a bit of an idiot, which was unfortunate because it started off so well, but towards the end of the process, something just happened. Like, we're not even speaking anymore, so never using him again. And he's probably never going to agree to publish a book by Arunga again because I was very dramatic. Getting my book into bookshops was a challenge that I eventually surmounted by ignoring all the bookshops, and if they ever ask me to put my book in their stores again, I will say no. No, I won't. I won't say no. I like money. Another challenge, you asked me what my marketing strategy was. Basically, I had one marketing strategy. Just force everyone I know to buy a book. I told myself if I publish 1,000 books, I know at least 1,000 people. I can make 1,000 people buy my book. So I literally have been forcing people to buy my book. That's the only strategy I have. Every other Kenyan is a writer. Every other Kenyan who I sell my book says, oh, even may I have poetry and I've been wanting to publish. And now that I've seen that you publish, I will publish. Everyone is coming up, And if they choose to ignore that, it's their revenue. At the end of the day, I'll make my money from my book without having to give them a cut of my money. It's their loss. They need new, what are they called? The people who read through the manuscripts and then decide yes or no, those people, they need new ones, all of them. Because clearly, these people are not the smartest. And promote your own people before you're promoting American people. Because at the end of the day, you can read Mills and Bones. I grew up on Mills and Bones. I love Mills and Bones, Sidney Sheldon, Jeffrey Archer, all of it. I love it. But at the end of the day, you're the one who's in Kenya. And the only way that Kenya will move forward is if you promote Kenya. So if you want to go and buy a 50 book that's fine. And if you don't want to buy my book, that's also fine. But it makes more sense as a Kenyan to support Kenya. Because we're only going to grow together as a nation if we support each other as a nation.